Hello my ABT students. Today we're going to learn how to create an invoice, and the invoice is going to involve doing calculations in Word. Now you're not expected to do big calculations in Word, but at the same time you should be aware of how to perform a calculation, and that's what we're going to do today. So first of all, you've got your show and hide on, which is good. Make sure you've got no spacing turned on. And now go to Insert, and I want you to go to Table, and I want you to make it 4 columns wide and come down 7 rows, so 4 by 7. Okay, remember the first thing, well, what we'll do is we'll put some text in first. So type in quantity, Q-U-A-N-T-I-T-Y, press your Tab key, and let's put in description, D-E-S-C-R-I-P-T-I-O-N, and then put in unit price, and then put in total. Alright, and then come here under quantity, let's put in 50 and put in quotes, and we'll put in a unit price of 79.99. And then tab twice and put in another quantity, 40, and this time it'll be jackets, and let's put the jackets in 129.99, and tab twice and let's put in 30 hats, H-A-T-S, and let's make the hats 29.99. Alright, so before we go any further, let's save this, and you already have a folder, so we want to go to File, Save As, we want to go to Browse, and we want to go to your Drive. So I want to go to my name, and you're going to go to your name, and then we want to go to ABT, and we want to go to the folder called Tables. So there's our folder called Tables. Now check your address bar. Do you see your name, ABT, and Tables? And you should. If you don't, you're in the wrong place. And then for the file name, I want you to type in your name. So I'm going to type in Lee, it's my name, September 10, and I'm going to call this Invoice. Okay? Alright, now your hands are already on the keyboard, so you can either click on Save or you can press Enter. I just pressed Enter. Now when we do a table, remember we go to the 4-headed arrow, right click, Table Properties, and what do you choose? Table, Center, Row, specify the height, and I'm going to go with 0.3 just to make sure I can see it on the screen. And cell, vertical alignment, center. Alright, and now you should see that all your data is centered up and down vertically in the columns. The table is centered, and you see your row height of 0.3. Alright, let's put in our first calculation here. So put your cursor in the blank cell under total. Alright, we want to go to Table Tools, Layout. And under Layout, we want to go to Formula. Okay, so our formula says equal sum left. No, we don't want to do that. So select it, put in your equals key. You want to take your quantity of 50 times your unit price of $79.99. Now, you already know Excel. So quantity is column A, and 50 is row 2, right? So it would be cell A2 times, put your mathematical operator in the star, and then the price, you want to take quantity times price, is in column, there's A, B, C. So unit price is C, so it would be C2. And we always want a $sign at the beginning of the column, so you're going to choose your third format here with a $sign and 2 decimal places. Alright, and say OK. And now you see $3,999.50. Alright, you'd like to see your formula. So this time I want you to press Alt F9. And you see where it shows me equals A2 times C2, which is your quantity times your price, and you see your dollar signs. All right, put your cursor in the next blank cell, and we are not going to turn this off because I want you to be able to see it. So this time you're going to formula. You don't want sum above. No, not that. You want equals, and you want to take the 40, which is column A, row 3, so A3. And you could have guessed because you had A2 before and you're in the next row. All right, times, what do you want to multiply by? C3. Exactly, column C, row 3. But we don't want a dollar sign, so we want to choose the second option and say OK. And now you see A3 times C3 with no dollar sign. If you want to look at that, then all you have to do is go Alt F9, and you got $5,199.60. All right, let's go Alt F9. Your codes are back on. Let's go to the blank cell, and one more time, go to Formula, and we don't want sum above, so we put in equals, and this time we want to have A4 times C4. All right, and no dollar sign. All right, say OK. Now, the next thing we want to look at, if you want to see, we go Alt F9. There's your total, $899.70. Now, everyone that comes to the store doesn't necessarily buy 3 items. So we want to put some empties in here, empty cells, so that we can calculate if someone buys 4 items or 5 items. So in the blank cell, let's do it one more time, formula, and we don't want sum above, so we're going to put in equals. And now you said, okay, what row am I on? I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I want to say A5 times C5, and I don't want a dollar sign. All right, and say OK. Now let's have a look. Alt F9. So do you see how you can see 2, 3, 4, 5? Then you don't have to remember. So now when we come to this cell, we're going to leave our formulas on, go to formula, and we don't want sum above. We want to say equals, and we want A6 times C6. Again, no dollar sign. And say OK. All right, so now we've got that calculated, and if we go Alt F9, you will see the zeros there. So now we decide, okay, that's enough. We want to put in the word subtotal. All right, and now we come over here, and once again, if we go to formula, we can, and it says sum above. That's what we want this time. So we won't change anything except that we will say we want a dollar sign. So say OK, and you got $10,098.80. If you go Alt F9, you can see your sum above folder, sum above formula with your dollar sign. All right, let's go Alt F9. Now, this time you're in the last cell of the table, but you need another row for PST and GST and total. So leave your cursor in this last cell, press your Tab key once. Remember, you get a blank row, right? Click in the blank cell again at the very end of the table, Tab, and you have another blank row. Click in the blank cell at the end of the table, press Tab, and you have another blank row. All right, so now you want to put in PST, you want to put in GST, and you want to put in the word total. All right, let's calculate the PST. So let's go to formula, and we don't want sum above. Say OK. Oh, my fault. Go back to formula here. I don't want, actually I'm going to do this. I'll cancel, take this out, get you started straight, and put your codes on, Alt F9. Okay, so now here we are one more time. So go to formula, and we don't want sum above. We want to say equals, and how much is the PST? Remember, it changed on July the 1st, so it's 7%. So 7% times, and what do you times? You want to times the subtotal. Where's the subtotal? Columns A, B, C, D, and what are we in? What row? And you know 6 is above, so it's got to be in 7. So it's D7. All right, and you do want a dollar sign. And say OK. So now you see 7% times D7. All right, let's do the GST. Formula, we don't want sum above. We want equals, and we know GST is 5%. So 5% times, and we still have to take it times the subtotal. And remember, the subtotal is in D7. And you want a dollar sign. Say OK. All right, now for the total, you can't say sum above or it's going to add everything above, which wouldn't be correct because we've already subtotaled. We only want to add the subtotal, the PST, and the GST. All right, so go to formula, and you're going to say sum above, but we don't want above. So we're going to take out everything to the A and above, but don't take out that parentheses after sum. And you want to sum D7, and now we want a range, so we have to put in a colon, which is the 2 dots. We want to sum from D7 to D9. All right, close your parentheses. If you don't close your parentheses, it'll come up and say syntax error. All right, and the number format you want is a dollar sign. Say OK. All right, let's go Alt F9, and now you can see all of your amounts. All right, go Control S to save. Now let's put our numbers all right aligned. So just select them and go Control R. That's your fastest way to right align your numbers. All right, we want one number, we want a dollar sign in here, so put a dollar sign in here. Now, this time, here's the beauty about Word. If you want to change this amount from 50 to 60, and change this amount, say let's from 40 to 50, and let's change the hats, and let's make them 39. All right, watch. I'm going to select every one of the cells. Now, I use F9 only, so just press function key F9. And do you see how everything updated right away? Very easy. So if I put these hats back to, let's say, 29, and let's say I want to put this back to 55, I'll say I'll change it 55, and now I go and I select my items, I press F9, and there they are, all updated very nicely. So very easy to work with it, and you have all your formulas. All right, I want to do one more thing. Go Control Home, and you're at the top of your table, so press Enter. Remember to jump out. And now let's just put a fake heading on here. Let's just say Invoice September 10. All right, let's go Control E to center it. Remember that. Go Shift Home, size it up, 1, 2, 3, and let's bold it, Control B, and Control I for italics. And let's put a color on it just for the heck of it. And there we put a color on it. And once again, go Control S to save. And there's your invoice complete. We'll stop there.